For years, I admired Can Yaman not just as an actor, but as a symbol of discipline, intelligence, and elegance. A man with a law degree, multilingual, cultured, and with an imposing presence. He was much more than a TV star. He was a role model. But today I sadly have to admit that his image is faded, and not because of his acting. News about his achievements has turned into headlines about scandalous appearances, exaggerated public kisses, and behavior bordering on provocation. What happened to the man who once represented excellence? What happened on that red carpet in Italy was more than just a misstep. Can, embracing his new partner Sara Bluma with ease, laughing and behaving provocatively, it wasn't just a show of affection. Many saw it as disrespectful toward the cultural context of the event and toward his fans. The question is inevitable. Who is Sara Bluma and why has she caused so much uproar? This isn't about prejudice, it's about facts. Her name is constantly linked to provocative imagery, controversial posts, and relationships with married men. She simply doesn't reflect the values we always associated with Can. Even his own mother, according to several sources, has distanced herself from this relationship, and that's understandable. This isn't just about love, it's about image, legacy, and coherence. Can was a national pride, a bridge between Turkey and Italy, and his recent behavior calls that into question. Social media is flooded with photos, kisses, and public gestures that once would have been unthinkable for someone so private. Where is the balance that once made him unique? What once inspired respect now creates confusion. I know everyone has the right to live love freely, but when you're a public figure, every act says something, and lately Can seems to be sending the message that he no longer cares what people think. Is that really true? I don't believe so. I want to believe this is just a phase, a passing moment, that the real Can, the professional, the thoughtful, committed man, is still there, because many of us still admire him and still believe in him. But I also know this: a relationship can elevate you or drag you down. What's at stake here is not just his heart, but an entire career built through effort. I hope he soon finds the balance that once made him great, because Can Yaman is not just an actor. He is a story many of us still want to see told right. Sometimes I wonder how Demet Özdemir must have experienced all this from afar. Not just their past relationship, but the media chaos that surrounds him today. Imagining her watching in silence, seeing the image of someone she once cared for collapse, fills me with a strange mix of sadness and respect. Because silence during scandal is also a way of speaking, and she knew how to remain silent. What I value most in Demet is her elegance in staying away. She doesn't justify herself, doesn't engage in public feuds, doesn't react to provocation. She chooses respect, distance, and calm. Her silence isn't weakness, it's a statement of principle. In a world where everyone talks, she saves her energy for what truly matters: her life and her career. Some say she took advantage of the moment or should have clarified things. I see it differently. To me, she was consistent. She chose to step back quietly, prioritizing her emotional well-being. She's shown the maturity of someone who doesn't need to create scandal to be noticed. Her strength lies in her discretion, in not feeding the spectacle when everyone is waiting for a show. I've read many comments from people who, like me, admire the way she's handled everything. Some believe she must be perplexed watching what Can has become. Others praise the serenity with which she has faced the situation. Many even say Demet probably feels a mix of surprise and relief for having distanced herself from such a toxic environment. And yes, it's hard not to think that Can's downfall is linked to her absence. Losing someone important leaves a void not everyone knows how to fill. Some heal and grow. Others, unfortunately, fall into relationships that only deepen emotional chaos. That, to many, is the real story here, a before and after Demet. She, meanwhile, continues building her path with determination. Far from controversy, focused on her work, she maintains a clean and professional image. She doesn't seek scandal or unnecessary attention. She lets her work speak for her, and in today's world, that's deeply appreciated. I don't know what she feels when she looks back. Maybe nostalgia, maybe disappointment, or maybe she has simply closed that chapter peacefully.
But I am convinced she walks with a clear conscience, confident in her choices. Because those who act with integrity always find their place, and Demet, without needing to explain anything, has proven herself to be a strong, focused, and admirable woman. And it hurts me to write this, not out of anger, but sadness, because Demet once seemed so connected to her values, and now she seems caught in a game of appearances. Some say behind her new image there are unresolved wounds, a need for approval, a silent fear of becoming irrelevant, and maybe, just maybe, they're right. I can't help but think that, like Khan, Demet has also been swept up by an industry that punishes authenticity, that every move is dictated by contracts, agents, algorithms, that she no longer acts from passion but from pressure, and her glow now feels colder, more distant, more like the reflection of a diamond behind glass than the warmth of a real star. But I still believe not all is lost. She can reconnect with the woman she was. She can still speak from the heart, without fear, without pretending. Because the talent is still there, the sensitivity is still there. She just needs to allow herself to be. Without filters, without masks. Demet doesn't need to reinvent herself to remain great. She just needs to remember that she already was when she was truly herself, vulnerable, strong, imperfect, and radiant. Because real beauty, real connection comes from honesty. And that Demet always knew how to deliver it. I just hope she remembers in time.